بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome to another session of التعبير القرآني where we're discussing the book التعبير القرآني by Dr. فاضل صالح سمير رئي, and I think we're still on page, what is this, page 37, right? So we're going to try hopefully today and finish off this page. Whatever is remaining is not really, I don't think there's anything much. Maybe one or two things that I might need to further clarify. So we had stopped at هنا, right? أو معنى وصف الجارحة. So we had studied this paragraph that is a quote from another book, right? So this other book, Al-Burhan. So Dr. Fadil is quoting this book as evidence for his argument. So وقيل كثيرا and المؤمنون and المتقون has been said a lot. لأن حقيقة النفقة, like we mentioned, the reality of spending أمر فعلي is something, it's an actionable item. It's a matter that is, it has to do with an action. شأنه الانقطاع والتجدد, which has you know, starting and stopping, beginning and ending. يعني recurs and sort of ends, begins and stops. بخلاف الإيمان, he says that, you know, in contrast to إيمان, فإن له حقيقة تقوم بالقلب, as opposed to إيمان, which rests in the heart. The إيمان is something that is يدوم, is permanent. It continues in the heart. Even if somebody, even if it was ignored, even if somebody neglected it, right? The iman is still in the heart. Even if you were not paying attention to it, the iman is still there. And he goes on to describe different things like كذلك التقوى والإسلام والصبر والشكر والهدى والضلال والعمى والبصر. فمعناها, and we discussed this فمعناها in the previous class, and we talked about this فالتفسيرية فالفصيحة. We talked about this one. And أو معنى وصف الجارحة. So either it could mean the reality of it, or it could mean, or either it could mean like a metaphorical meaning, or it could mean a physical reality, or like the real sense of the word itself. And we described that last week. I don't want to get into that again. But anyway, he proceeds to say كل هذه, all these things that he previously mentioned, يعني from النفقة والتقوى والإسلام والصبر والشكر, all this was كل هذه لها مسميات حقيقية أو مجازية تستمر. All of this have realities, have titles or names or indications of reality or metaphorical sense that continue. وآثار تتجدد وتنقطع. Or it could have also implications or effects that renew and stop, start and stop. فجاءت بالاستعمالين. In that sense, he used, or rather the Quran mentions both usages, أي الإسمية والفعلية. So because these words have both implications, they can both be used in a sense of to show that something is continuous. A fi'l will be used, and it can also be used to show that something is permanent, and ism would be used. So these words, these ideas that we're mentioning here, can, depending on the context, and this is what he said, إلا أن لكل محل ما يليق به. These things, depending on the context, will determine how they're used. So if you require something to keep on renewing, you'll use a fi'l. If you need something to be permanent, then you use an ism. That's what basically he's saying. فحيث يراد تجدد حقائقها أو آثارها فالأفعال. So if you intend something to recur, its reality and its implications to keep on recurring and renewing, then you're going to use a fi'l. If you intend for it to have a permanent sifa, permanent description, then al-asma, isms. So that's basically what's been said, and we already did the tashkil. So we're just going to go on and proceed and do the i'rab of this remaining section. Who wants to participate? Please unmute yourself and we can begin if you're willing to do that. Let me see here. Arshi, you
Sister,
wanna? Oh yeah,
did
okay.
we
Let
do
me.
the grammar of this? We did the harakat, but
Yeah, we're gonna do the
when
i'rab.
from kullu hazihi.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Inshallah.
Assalamualaikum. If I was clear.
Salam. Yes.
Okay. Bismillah. So كل هذه is مضاف إليه مبتدأ
Mm-hmm.
and لها جار مجرور متعلق بالخبر مقدم المسميات حقيقية would be موصوف صفة خبر.
Give me a second, Arshi. I'm gonna stop sharing and then start sharing again because my screen is twitchy. Keeps on.
Okay.
Let me start again. Hopefully it will be better now. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, now you can begin.
Okay. So كل هذه is مبتدأ مضاف إليه and
Mm-hmm.
لها جار مجرور متعلق بالخبر مقدم
Mm-hmm.
المسميات حقيقية would be خبر موصوف صفة مسميات is موصوف حقيقية صفة مسميات
Mm-hmm.
it is خبر
So you said مسميات is what?
موصوف and حقيقية would be صفة مسميات.
So look. So لها مسميات حقيقية أو مجازية تستمر. This whole sentence is a خبر of كل هذه.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
And then inside that sentence, we have to look at it now. What do we have? We have a jar majroor.
Okay. So this is مبتدأ.
Mm-hmm. This is مبتدأ.
Okay.
Like that.
لها جار مجرور متعلق بالخبر مقدم to this مبتدأ, right?
Yes.
أو is حرف
حرف عطف.
حرف عطف. المجازية would be معطوف to حقيقية
Yes.
حقيقية and تستمر would be صفة to مجازية.
صفة. Yes.
مضارع فعل مضارع فاعله هي. وآثار isn't connected to again مجازية I would say واو حرف عطف and آثار
Actually, yeah. So this bracket is not even
معطوف.
supposed to be ending there. You can go all the way up to here even, or even continue. Depending on how you look at this حروف عطف, you can make them continue. Yeah, so مسميات حقيقية وآثار تتجدد. So this آثار is connected to مسميات.
and تتجدد would be again صفة آثار فعل مضارع فاعله هي. نكرة بعدها الجملة لأن.
Exactly.
and واو حرف عطف then تطيع would be معطوف to تتجدد. This whole sentence would be end here, I guess, right?
Yeah, this whole sentence now would be the خبر of كل هذه.
Okay. فحرف جاءت would be فعل ماضي فاعله هي. بحرف جر اجتماع عليه مجرور and it is متعلق بالفعل بجاءت.
Exactly. So this is متعلق. My pen is a bit twitchy, that's why I'm not writing much, but as long as we can understand what is happening.
And إلا would be حرف استثناء.
Mm-hmm.
And إلا أن حرف نفس. And
Sorry, there's a
and
question here. Just a minute. صفة of تستمر الصفة of مجازية. مسميات حقيقية أو مجازية تستمر. مسميات تستمر. مسميات تستمر. Yeah. So this تستمر goes back to the مسميات. So this مسميات either they're حقيقية أو مجازية, and this مسميات تستمر. They continue. Right?
No, this تستمر is the صفة of مجازية or مسميات.
مسميات.
مسميات. Yeah, that's
نعم.
what I was. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Where were we? Could you start from إلا? Because I lost my train of thought.
إلا is حرف استثناء.
Mm-hmm.
And أن حرف نفس. And I think this one now would be a whole sentence.
Yes. Yes, because أن, what does أن do? أن is one of the حروف that make مصدر مؤول. So أن and its اسم, that whole will be مصدر مؤول. And that would be في محل نسب مستثنى.
هذا question here. وآثار تتجدد would be صفات وآثار ومسميات.
آثار.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the صفة of this. آثار.
So he's saying there are two things. These words could have مسميات and they could have آثار. So they could have مسميات. مسميات is like the thing that you call something. So meanings, you could say. It could have realistic meanings and figurative meanings, and it could have also effects that renew and end. So it could cause some effect, but also in itself, its meaning or its titles or its, I don't know how to explain musammayat. I don't know if you guys have a better translation of musammayat, but I think either attribute meanings or names. Musammayat actually means names, but it has, you can look at it that it has realistic and metaphorical characteristics in itself, but it also has effects. So characteristics and effects type of thing. That's what he's saying. So both this, so the characteristic is either true, reality, or it could be majazi, and the effect could either start and stop. That's what is being said here.
Okay. So أنا إسحاق نسب in the whole sentence would be إسوانيا في محل نسب. And inside bracket is the حرف جر كل مجرور كل مضاف محل مضاف إليه. And it is جار مجرور مقدم متعلق بالفعل مقدم عليه. And ما would be اسم موصول and يليق would be صلة الموصول.
And what's the relationship? How is it related to this sentence? What's the i'rab? What role is it playing? So you have anna with
Yes. The whole sentence is اسمه أنا and I.
yeah. So the
What?
ma is
Is
the
it?
ism anna
Okay.
because we So it's mu'akhar,
This is
but
مبتدأ مؤخر.
yes, in a
Okay.
sense,
Okay.
right? And then of course ma, like
موصول.
you said, is ism mawsul.
يليق would be شدة المفعول فعل مضارع فاعله هو and B
Mhm.
is جار مجرور متعلق بيليق.
Exactly.
And
All
the
right.
whole, how we say it is connected, this sentence is connected to فجعل باستعمالين, how is it connected?
This is مستثنى.
Okay.
This would be the مستثنى. Okay. يعني this whole
فحرف
continue.
فحرف أت حيث would be ظرف حيث is مضاف and يراد would be مجرور في محل جر.
Yes, you can look at it that way. You can look at حيث as ظرف either زمان or مكان depending on the meaning, on the context. So in this case, I think ظرف زمان would make more sense. So you can look at it as ظرف مكان مضاف ظرف زمان مضاف. Yeah. Just like either.
So يراد is فعل مضارع مجهول نائب الفاعل would be هو and تتجدد is it حال of يراد.
So what is you said? Okay, so it's هو. When we see هو, what do we do?
Okay, so it is maybe نائب الفاعل.
Exactly.
يراد تتجدد.
So this is نائب الفاعل.
تتجدد is مضاف and حتى فيها would be مضاف إليه. And the whole sentence would be then نائب الفاعل of يراد.
Yes,
You see
and the
what I'm
نائب
saying?
actually continues still.
Okay, so أو حفظت again and أثاري would be معطوف to حقيقي حقائقها.
Exactly.
أثارها would be معطوف to حقائقها. فأفعال and حفظت and أفعال I would say is it المبتدأ new sentence.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. فأفعال مبتدأ and the rest of the sentence is a خبر. Again, not
No.
خبر.
So the الخبر here is محذوف because there's an indication before it. Like فحيث يراد تجدد حقائقها فالأفعال. يعني it's sort of like saying that the أفعال are used or because whatever came before tells us what the خبر would be. So there's no need of repeating the خبر of الأفعال. فالأفعال يستخدموا something like that. Then the fi'als will be used, right? Because if we want to indicate renewing, then we use the fi'als. It's like saying then we use the fi'als. Or we just say in English, then the fi'als. We don't go ahead and say this, we use the fi'als because it's understood, right? So that the khabar there is mahduf. The other thing I wanted to say about haythu is that haythu sometimes, in very rare cases, could be used as adatu shart. So it, like haythuma, it could come as in the meaning of haythuma. Haythuma is adatu shart, right? Whenever. So I think this, in this particular case, actually here, haythuma is adatu shartin. And then فالأفعال would be the جواب of that shart. So it's acting as حيثما in this particular case. So sometimes حيث can also be used as أداة شرط in some rare cases like this one. That's why you have
Even
فاء
in the
رابطة
context.
here.
Okay, because of the fail, they took it as a jawab. Context
Okay.
based, right?
Sorry?
I say it is made context depend on the context.
Yes, depending on the context, how you use حيث. If I want to say use حيث to mean a place, then how I structure that sentence would determine how I use حيث. حيث can be used to mean a place, it can be used to mean a time, it can be used to mean إذا, the way I use إذا, it can be used to mean since. So it can be used depending on how you use it, or in this case, it can also be used to mean whenever, right? So how you use it would determine the إعراب of it.
Okay. So واو حرف قد, and this حيث يراد, the whole sentence would be معطوف to the previous حيث يراد. And again, حيث is مبتدا, يراد is مجرور
حيث
في
is,
محل جر.
what did you say?
Sorry, حيث is مضاف.
It's, so we can say either it's a ظرف or أداة شرط in this case.
Okay. حيث is مضاف, and the rest of the sentence is في محل جر مجرور. and يراد is again فعل مضارع, مضارع مجهول. نائب الفاعل would be اتصافه. الاتصاف is the نائب الفاعل, and بها is جار مجرور متعلق يراد. فحرف قد, and الأسماء again the new sentence I guess, or it's الجواب حيث.
Exactly. So this fa, if we are taking حيث as أداة شرط, this fa will call either فاء الجزاء or فاء الرابطة. So this fa is called فاء الجزاء, right? That comes in a shart. Any questions so far? Okay, yes, there's a hand up.
So all these feminine things like biha, asariha, asariha, haqaiqa, and then we have faja'at. So all of them are going back to kullu hazihi.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Are we good? Okay, let's continue. Let's move on. So we're going to introduce a new paragraph. It's very يعني fairly simple. So ومن ذلك استعماله للاستغفار فإنه لما كان الاستغفار يحدث ويتجدد جاء به الصيغة الفعلية كثيرا. شأن الإنفاق قال تعالى الآية. And then وقال أيضا another آية من سورة الشورى ولم يرد بالصيغة الإسمية إلا في آية واحدة حتى هي التي ورد فيها الإنفاق اسما وهي قوله تعالى that الآية أي أصحاب هذه الصفات. So again he goes on to just add more evidence. So far he talked about al-infaq, and then he gave us al-iman as well. He talked about al-iman, and then he talked about all these different qualities, taqwa, Islam. He talked about huda, ama, basar, all these different concepts he talked about, and now he's also giving more evidence, and he's talking about now al-istighfar. So also he's saying that similarly, al-istighfar has been used in the same way, just like al-infaq, just like al-iman. When al-istighfar, the idea of al-istighfar is required in a context that renews and recurs, then the jumla fi'liya was used. And it has only been used once in a permanent way, in an isim form, and that's the same ayah where that al-infaq was used in a permanent sense. So you can see this ayah, this particular ayah. الصابرين والصادقين والقانتين والمنفقين والمستغفرين بالأسحار. So all these sifat, they came in isim form in a permanent way to indicate that these people that are mentioned in this particular ayah, they have made this sifat like continuous and something established, something fixed, something permanent. That's why it comes in a jumla ismiya. So that's what he's saying in this particular section, right? Just to add more evidence. So maybe we can quickly go through this. Arshi, are you ready? We can do maybe the harakat, and then we can do the i'rab.
ومن ذلك حرف استئناف, من حرف جر ذلك مجرور استعماله للاستغفار فإنه لما كان
What
استغفاره.
استعماله you said?
استعماله is مبتدأ مضاف
Uh-huh.
مضاف إليه.
Yes.
and للاستغفار would be جار مجرور متعلق بالخبر.
متعلق
متعلق
باستعماله.
باستعمال
Mm.
استعماله. ومن ذلك جار مجرور مقدم.
Mm-hmm.
could it be ذلك it's like مضاف and استعماله بمضاف إليه. no.
No. So ومن ذلك comma استعماله للاستغفار. So remember when like يعني this happens a lot where you have jar majroor coming what is it
مقدم.
called? مقدم. Exactly. And ذلك for it to be an اسم إشارة it has whatever comes after it has to have al. Not proper any kind, just al, specifically al. ذلك الكتاب. Not ذلك كتابه. If I say ذلك كتابه, then كتابه becomes a khabar. That is his book. But ذلك الكتاب, that book, so there's a difference. So if I say ومن ذلك استعماله and I take استعمال as the بدل of ذلك, because I'm saying that استعمال is the مشار إليه, then the meaning completely changes. And of course, it cannot be possible because it has to have al on it, right? So that's why. So this is why ومن ذلك is jar مجرور مقدم and استعمال is the مبتدأ مؤخر, right?
so it is جار مجرور متعلق بالخبر مقدم.
Mm-hmm.
and فحرف إنه is مبتدأ حرف نصب هو اسم إن.
Mm-hmm.
فإنه is مبتدأ and the rest of the sentence is the خبر. لما I guess حرف ترتية. Yes. لما
لما yes. So لما when it comes with a ماضي it comes as a ظرف, just a ظرف meaning when. When it comes with a مضارع it actually becomes حرف نفي, right?
oh
Yes, something else. So here because kana is فعل ماضي, so we'll just look at this as ظرف. And also it could be, can it be? I'm trying to remember if it is one of the أداة شرط. Not so sure. Where is جملة شرطية? لما, yes. Okay, yeah, it could also be أداة شرط. So it could be ظرف just like حيث. Just like we did حيث. So لما could also be ظرف زمان أداة شرط, depending on how it's used.
here is verse زمان and could be set.
I'll just look at it
maybe.
ظرف زمان.
Okay. and كان is فعل ناقص. اسم كان would be استغفار I think.
Mm-hmm.
الاستغفار is اسم كان. يحدث could it be حال.
Yes. حال of
فعل استغفار.
الاستغفار. Mm-hmm.
يحدث is فعل مضارع فاعله هو. واو حرف and يتجدد is فعل مضارع فاعله هو and it is معطوف to يحدث.
Mm-hmm.
and جاء is a new sentence. فعل ماضي
Yes.
فاعله
So
هو.
when this, then this. So if you look at it as لما as أداة شرط, then this becomes your جواب.
Okay.
Right?
and
If you look at
say
لما as ظرف, then جاء would be your جملة فعلية, and then لما as a ظرف, it becomes متعلق to this جملة مقدم. Right? So those are the two ways in which you can look at this sentence. Yes, Sayyidah Samia?
So we have this lamma, and the rest of the sentence that is following is like mudaf ilayh, right?
Yes.
If we take it as a result, okay. Now in that mudaf ilayh, we have a jumla ismiya, right? Kana and bih.
Mm-hmm.
This is one sentence, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take this as a one complete sentence, then kana and we have istighfar, ismu kana. Can we take this yahdusu wa yatajaddudu as a khabar of kana? Like when the istighfar was happening and was being renewed.
No. No, this يحدث ويتجدد is the حال of استغفار. لما كان الاستغفار يحدث ويتجدد. When the istighfar is in a state of recurring and renewing, then this,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Then ja'a will be the khabar, right?
No.
Of kana.
جاء, there are two possibilities. So جاء could be the sentence. If you say لما is ظرف. You know ظرف
Yeah.
is شبه جملة, right? So شبه جملة has to be connected to something, a جملة. Either it could be
Yeah.
جملة فعلية or جملة اسمية. So in that case, this
Okay.
whole لما all the way up to يتجدد, if we take لما as a ظرف, we would say this sentence is شبه جملة ظرف يعني جار ظرف مقدم. And it's متعلق to جاء. That's how we will say it. But if we say that لما is أداة شرط, if we look at لما as أداة شرط, then we'll say لما okay أداة شرط كان فعل شرط da 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 all the way up to here, put a comma. جاء becomes جواب شرط.
I got it. I'm just confused about the kana present over here. If there was only istighfar, then yahdusu yatajaddudu will be there. But if we have a kana, and then this sentence sounds incomplete, right?
No.
Because we have ismu kana, we have istighfar, and then we
Sometimes
have
kana can be tam. Sometimes kana doesn't need a khabar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is a tam, and this is actually the fire then, right?
Yes. Actually, we can
Okay.
look at it that way.
Okay. Okay. Now I get it. Now it
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay.
All right. Let's continue.
جاء شيء أبي فعله هو به الجار مجرور متعلق بجاء الصيغة
Mm-hmm.
الفعلية would be فاعل بجاء
Sorry, could you say that again a little bit louder?
جاء الصيغة الفعلية مفعول به
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
جاء بجاء I thought it's fine. My bad.
Okay, so maybe let me explain this. So جاء normally is what? جاء normally is فعل لازم. He came. He's the one doing the action. He's not doing the action to something else or someone. He's not, he came you or he came what? Like you cannot ask what or who, right? So جاء is فعل لازم. But it's also متعدي بحرف. When we say جاء به, now it changes the meaning to bringing. He brought it, right? He brought it. Now it becomes متعدي بحرف. When it becomes متعدي بحرف, now there's a possibility of مفعول, right? So yeah, you can look at this جاء this الصيغة الفعلية as مفعول به, right?
كثيرا would be نعيد مفعول مطلق
Mm-hmm.
بجاء كثيرا and شأنه is the new sentence
Yes.
مبتدأ شأنه الإنفاق would be خبر شأنه الفاكس مضاف إليه
Yes.
مبتدأ
It's actually خبر to a مبتدأ that is محذوف. Okay.
Okay.
Let me explain this one. And by the way, this is my own ijtihad. I could be wrong. I don't know. It makes sense to me. And alhamdulillah, I already explained half of this in the group. Remember Sabrun Jamil? What I sent, the message that I sent in the group about Sabrun Jamil? That this is a similar discussion. So I already told you how صبر جميل comes from a جملة اسمية, جملة فعلية. That I already mentioned. Then you come to صبر جميل. Now, صبر جميل, how do you do the i'rab of it? Now that you've arrived at صبر جميل, how do you do the i'rab? Do I say, okay, صبر, I look at the things that are رفع. There are about 8 different things that are supposed to be رفع. You know, فاعل, مضارع, نائب فاعل, what else we have? Anything that follows something that is مرفوع, خبر, خبر, إن, اسم كان, all these things. But when I look at this sentence, there's no كان, there's no إن, so this cannot be خبر of anything, right? It cannot be اسم كان, it cannot be خبر كان. There's no كان there, there's no إن there. So I cross that out. فاعل, there's no فعل. نائب فاعل, there's no فعل. So I cross those ones out. And I cross مبتدا has to be proper, right? I mean, I can look at this as شأن الإنفاق because الإنفاق has al on it, and maybe I can say this is proper. But the idea is, it makes more sense as a خبر whose مبتدا is محذوف. Just like when we look at صبر جميل, the idea, the understanding behind it is that it's actually صبري صبر جميل. صبري صبر جميل. But it is mandatory that we omit the mubtada because صبر جميل, its original sentence is not jumla ismiya. Its original sentence is jumla fi'liya. So we cannot force it to have a mubtada because its original sentence is jumla fi'liya. And in that sense, it doesn't take on a mubtada. It refuses a mubtada and says, I'm just going to be a khabar, my mubtada is mahdhuf. So when we do the i'rab of sabrun jameel, we're going to say sabrun is khabar لمبتدأ محذوف. And then of course jameel will be the sifa to the khabar. In the same here, the same case, it's شأن الإنفاق. يعني شأنه شأن الإنفاق. شأن الاستغفار شأن الإنفاق. The affair of al-istighfar, the case of al-istighfar is the same as the case of al-infaq. Basically, that's what is being said. The matter of al-istighfar is the same as the matter of al-infaq. In other words, it is similar to al-istighfar. You can also look at, you can say sha'nu al-infaq, and you maybe take it, you don't make it a permanent, like sabrun jameel. You make it sabran jamilan, like we discussed, so it instead becomes sha'na al-infaq. You put a fatha on it. And in that sense, if we put a fatha on it, that's going to be maf'ul mutlaq. That's going to be maf'ul mutlaq. Right? In that sense. Let's see here, let's see in the chat. Can sha'n not be tamyiz? Tamyiz of what exactly? So tamyiz, first of all, you have to look at what is a tamyiz. Tamyiz cannot be proper. Tamyiz is light and it's common. Sha'nul infaq, because it is mudaf to a proper mudaf ilay, then technically it's proper. Right? So it cannot be tamyiz in that sense. Is that clear? Or did I just confuse things more? Just understand that what's missing here, the mubtada is sha'nuhu. أو شأن الاستغفار, because we're talking about الاستغفار. So شأن الاستغفار, شأن الإنفاق, the case of الاستغفار is the same case as الإنفاق. That's what he's saying. That's the argument he's presenting. Any questions?
Can you just explain one more time why this can't be mubtada and why we can't say the khabar is mahzuf?
You can't look at it that way. If you say that the khabar is mahdoof, I'm trying to remember the reasons why a khabar can be mahdoof. If it's already, when is a khabar mahdoof? I'm gonna have to, I don't remember exactly the reasons why a khabar is mahdoof, to be honest, at the top of my head.
Okay.
But there's a number of reasons. So because I feel like why this is khabar محذوف مبتدا محذوف because the mubtada is already kind of alluded to in al-istighfar. We already know it. So there's no
Yeah, it's
reason for me to again mention sha'nul istighfar, sha'nul infaq. You understand? But
yeah,
I am
yeah.
mentioning what is not known because that's
Totally.
the
Okay.
what is it called? The purpose of a khabar, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
purpose of a
yeah,
khabar is to inform you of what you do not know. So I
yeah,
skip out
yeah,
the mubtada that you already know and I mention what you do not know.
yeah. Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah. Any other questions? Is that clear?
Can we do the Arab of this again? I'm lost somewhere. So
Okay.
you said
I know this
Jaa
is a bit confusing.
okay.
Right. So you remember the discussion we had about Sabrun Jamil or the message I sent about Sabrun Jamil? How
Oh no,
it
that's
came.
clear.
Yes.
That I gathered that, but the connection with Jaa bihi, so Jaa is fail, bihi is mutallif, al-sighat
Oh.
al-fi'liya is maf'ul, kasiran, and then what's the connection between after kasiran with sha'nu?
This is a
Because
new
we're missing
sentence.
the
Either
it's a
you
new
can look at it
sentence.
as a new sentence, stand alone
Okay.
on its own. So sha'nuhu sha'nul infaq, separate sentence. Or if you want to link it to before, you can make this sha'nu, you can make it maf'ul mutlaq, another one, a maf'ul mutlaq, so it becomes sha'na. Instead of sha'nu, becomes sha'na al-infaq. Just like we did sabran jamilan, right? So
Okay.
there are two
Okay.
possibilities there.
That's simpler to understand. Okay, I'll go with that one.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Okay, and of course, قال تعالى, we've said this, we've done the i'rab of قال تعالى, I think, 1,000,000 times. It comes so much. So let's
in
see if
both
we can be.
cases, I would
Go
say
on.
in both cases, if we took as maf'ul mutlaq or khabar, so sorry, khabar, yes. So the meaning would be the same.
Yes, in a sense. Because if I say, so the idea, like for example, if you said sabrun jamil, the understanding is that I'm going to observe beautiful patience, or my patience is going to be beautiful for a long time. Okay, so the implication is maybe if you make it jumla ismiya, of course, now it becomes permanent. If you stick to jumla fi'liya, then it becomes less permanent. Now it becomes tajaddud. So that's the only implication. But then again, when it comes to like MSA and reading and books, they don't really focus on that difference. That difference comes in when we're discussing the Quran. Is it sha'na or is it sha'nu? Yeah? Is it um is it jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya? That becomes relevant when it comes to the Quran. But in this particular case, whether you make it sha'na or you make it sha'nu, the meaning is the same. The meaning is the same. The way to understand this sentence is you can just assume just like al-infaq. That's how you can translate it. It won't be literal, it won't be direct translation, but that's how you understand it. You understand it. Sha'nul infaq, just like infaq. Right? Mithlul infaq. Same thing.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so he gives another example. He says, وَقَالَ وَالْمَلَائِكَةُ يُسَبِّحُونَ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّهِمْ وَيَسْتَغْفِرُونَ لِمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. So he gives the example of istighfar being used as a jumla fi'liya there. You can see وَيَسْتَغْفِرُونَ وَيَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. Now maybe let's do this line 13 and then let's see, we can finish this inshallah. We can finish up to line 15.
So
All
wow
right.
is harf and lam is harf مضارع مجزوم harf مضارع مجزوم and yarid is فعل مضارع مجزوم. Sorry, lam is جازمة للمضارع. I think I would say.
Yes,
I
جازمة
forgot the term.
للمضارع.
Okay, yes. And yarid is فعل مضارع مجزوم فاعله هو. And the harf jar الصيغة دي مجرور and الصيغة دي موصوف الاسمية دي استفهام it is متعلق يرد
Mhm.
متعلق بيرد the whole. And إلا is again حرف استثناء
Mhm.
في حرف جر آية واحدة مجرور موصوف صفة
Mhm.
and this is مستثنى the whole sentence في آية
It could have
واحدة.
been, but we look at the sentence. So the sentence is negation followed by illa. And there's
Okay,
no,
okay.
what is it called? The mustathna minhu is not mentioned. There's no mustathna minhu. So what do we do in that case? Get rid of this, get rid of this. That's how we look at it. So
So it is again متعلق بيرد متعلق
exactly. So
بيرد.
في آية واحدة is متعلق to يرد.
هي I think a new sentence is مبتدأ
Mhm.
and الذي is خبر اسم موصول
Mhm.
and ورد وجسدة الموصول في المضارع فاعله هو
Mhm.
فيها is جار مجرور متعلق بورد
Mhm.
and الإنفاق would be the file of ورد
Exactly.
الإنفاق. Okay. And اسما is it مفعول بورد.
ورد is لازم. Cannot take a
Okay.
مفعول به.
So
So
okay.
what مفعول could it be?
I would say my mind goes to مفعول مطلق whenever I think.
It's not مفعول مطلق.
I know. So maybe it's a fail محذوف or I'm
So how did
confused.
it come?
Oh, maybe حال or of
Mm,
إنفاق.
exactly.
Okay.
Because it answers how it came. It came as an ism. So whenever you have this, if you can translate something as this came as this, then that's automatically a hal. That's one of the ways in which we translate hal, right?
Okay.
So this is a hal.
Quick question here. When we had a
Mhm.
hiya and he, why did we make this khabar when allati could have been a sifa of hiya because it's a proper?
Sorry, what did we do? We made التي خبر في آية واحدة هي التي
And the whole sentence,
yeah,
this here atati warada fiha anfaqu isman, is actually the sifa of ayah. But we can't attach it directly with allati, with ayah, because ayah is common. So there
yeah.
has to be a breaker pronoun in between. So you put here into between.
That's a referee pronoun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the entire jumla,
Yeah.
hiya
So
becomes
yeah.
mubtada.
Yeah. So
And
it's like a breaker pronoun that has been placed in between, but it is actually this jumla ismiya is acting like a sifa to ayah. So this is how I'm taking it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
So we can
So
leave the translation for here. We can say which, in which.
okay, so more like a grammatical construct which is not being translated.
Yeah. So we can say the ayah, the single ayah in which the infaq
Okay.
was mentioned as a ism.
Okay. Thank you.
yeah,
Am I
I
right?
hope your question was answered because I didn't get it, but I hope it was answered.
Oh my God, I could be wrong.
So I think no, the way you explained it was correct, but I just hope the way you explained it also answered her question, which I didn't get. So
Okay,
Sorry, I
correct me
also
wrong.
didn't get it. Sorry.
Fauzia, was your question answered?
Now you've put me in a difficult situation that you didn't get my question. I got what she said, but now I'm not sure.
Now,
So,
okay, you reword what you understood, and then Sister Elam can correct us both. You reword what you understood.
okay, so I understood that there's a sentence which starts from here, Alati Warada Fiha Anfaku Isman, and that whole sentence is a sifa of ayah. And
Yes.
because you can't, because ayah is common, so we had to put a breaker pronoun here in between to add the allati. So my question really was this entire sentence, which starts from here and finishes at isman, why is, if here is mubtada, then why did we consider allati, warada, etc. khabar? Why
Ah, I
didn't
see.
allati
Is
become
the
the,
ism? Yes, you're right. You're right. Huwa alladhi, like for example, if I said huwa alladhi, so alladhi would be the sifa.
yes.
Yes, we consider it as the sifa, right? Wait, why am
So
I
he
confused
added,
right now?
Yeah, I
okay.
mean, what I was explaining to Fozia is that by grammar it looks like a Jumla Ismiya, but this Jumla Ismiya has been made to consolidate with the commonality of ayah. So if you want to play around with the translation, so you don't have to literally make it like the ayah is one that you don't have to bring here in translation. So you can skip the here in translation and you can simply say a single ayah in which the infaq was mentioned as an ism. So you can drop that in the translation. But by grammar, the here has to be there as a mubtada
Right.
because allati cannot be joined directly to ayah.
I
Yes,
fully
precisely.
understand
So
that.
yeah,
Now
so
I'm
this
just
is the sifa.
wondering,
Let me see if I
yeah,
get
now
it.
I'm just wondering why does he go about in a convoluted way to add hiya and allati?
Yeah,
Couldn't
that's
have,
another question. We could have said ayah, warada
Yeah, I could have
fiha
just omitted
anfaq.
this.
Yeah,
yes,
Ayatun
he could
warada
have said
fiha
that.
al-infaq.
But I guess we are not in a position to argue with him.
Or I don't know, or
He
maybe
has
he's
done a lot to us. Anyways,
true.
he has done a lot to us. Anyways.
Yeah, I think sometimes just when you're writing or when you're speaking, you tend to add more words that you could do away with. Like you
okay,
could just
okay.
go
So
straight and say في
there's
آية
no
واحدة ورد
particular,
فيها.
okay, so there's no particular significance of how he's done this. Okay, all right, got it. Jazakallah.
Sabrun Jamil. Fawzia Sabrun Jamil. This is all.
Inshallah.
Yeah, that was a good question. Yeah, basically, there's really no need of saying here allati. You could omit this, and the sentence would still make sense or would still be the same. But if you want to use allati, then you have to bring in here, just so that it could be sound. Okay, great. Let's finish up this 2 lines quickly. We can be able to do this, and then we can end, inshallah.
So, wow, again, haq and here is mubtada or
Mm-hmm.
matches to previous mubtada.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, mubtada and qawluhu ta'ala is khabar.
Mm-hmm.
في محل رفع قوله is مضاف مضاف إليه and خبر and تعالى is حال. Sorry, حال. Sorry,
Yes.
بدل. I am confused. هو
Now it's the hal of
قوله
the dhamir.
who
Yes.
this. Okay. And the rest of the sentence is مفعول قول
Mm-hmm.
في محل نصب
Yes.
قوله تعالى
So this is basically the only sentence in which, so he's saying this is the only sentence in which al-istighfar came as an ism, just like al-infaq, al-munfiqina. You can see it here. So you can see all these qualities. So only in this ayah, because Allah is describing people with maybe people who have made these qualities a permanent, a part of themselves. then they came as jumla, like they came as sifat, as isms. That's what he's trying to say here. Okay, so I
is, I would think that is example for ashabu is mudaf
I,
and has
what we normally say about I is harf tafsiriya. So I say something and then IE, basically. This is just like IE in English, or meaning, or in other words, that's how you can translate I, right? Meaning أصحاب هذه الصفات, meaning the people of this صفات. So it's a harf
tafsiriyya.
tafsiriya, yes. So it just adds meaning and explains what was mentioned before.
Okay. And ashabu is mubtada again mudaf and هذه الصفات is mudaf إليه هذه في
Mm-hmm.
محل جر
Mm-hmm.
and هذه and الصفات is just بدل of هذه.
Yes. So this is
Okay.
mudaf ilayh and this is the badal.
And the whole sentence is مبتدا and خبر is محذوف.
Yes. That's
We can't
precisely
say.
that.
Sorry. I'm sorry. We can't say holders of these sifats.
Holders of this sifat as habu, as mubtada, and hadihi as khabar. Is that what you're saying?
No. Like
Huh.
this whole thing is this is idafa, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what is mazoo here? Everything is mazoo. So what is mazoo here?
Probably the mubtada again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sabr.
Or
So
the khabar. I just have to go and
Okay.
I need to go to my notes and see when a khabar is mahdhuf, because I keep forgetting that. So either the mubtada is mahdhuf or the khabar is mahdhuf. Either way, like that's yeah, because it's understood. أي هؤلاء أصحاب هذه الصفات or something like, or أي meaning the intended people are people of this sifat, something like that, right? Or the audience is the people of this sifat. If the mubtada is mahdhuf, which I'm inclining towards it being the case, the mubtada is actually mahdhuf. And this is the khabar, maybe. Although I've written here mubtada, but that's because I'm not sure whether it's the mubtada that is mahdhuf or the khabar that is mahdhuf. But yeah.
But the way you've just translated this, the people are something of these sifat. It looks like there's a mubtada khabar, and then inside the khabar there's a mubtada mahdhuf. I'm just adding more wrenches into this. Leave it, please.
I say that. Let's make more things mahdhuf. Oh, by the way, while we're on the topic of hadf, it's very important to know this, that I never mentioned before, because I think we get confused. There's this mahdhuf, there's that mahdhuf. Can we just do hadf of everything? Can we just omit everything? What goes on? So the idea is this. Jumla ismiya is made up of two foundational things, a mubtada and a khabar. This is the foundation. This is a basic requirement of a jumla ismiya. We learned this a long time ago. Now, you cannot do hadf of the foundation unless there are specific reasons. So I cannot do hadf of the mubtada just because I want to. Or I cannot do hadf of the khabar just because I want to, because that's the foundation. You cannot omit from the foundation unless there's a particular reason for it. So the grammarians have actually listed several reasons why you can omit a mubtada, or why, and there are two groups. Either it is recommended to omit or you must omit. Like the first case, in this case of Sabrun Jamil, you must omit the mubtada. You cannot say the mubtada because aslul jumla, the origin of the sentence is actually jumla fi'aliya, not jumla ismiya. So you cannot force it into a jumla ismiya. That's why we must omit the mubtada. That's one of the reasons why you must omit a mubtada. So there are several reasons why you omit a mubtada, and there are several reasons why you omit a khabar, either wujuban, mandatorily, or jawazan, like recommended or something like that, right? That's one thing when it comes to jumla ismiya. Jumla fi'aliya is made up of two parts, fa'il and fa'il. Same thing. This is the foundation. This is the foundation of a sentence. So omitting the foundation is you just don't do it for the sake of doing it. There has to be a reason. But these other things like maf'ul bihi, maf'ul mutlaq, hal, all these other things you can omit because they're not really part of the foundation. I don't really have to say them. But the foundation must be there unless there's a specific reason or an argument that you can present why you're omitting a mubtada or why you're omitting a khabar. So that's a very important, I think, part of the discussion, so that we just don't go on omitting things or saying, oh, this is mahdhuf, that is mahdhuf, you know. So, all right, I hope that's clear.
All of these reasons are enough reasons for my brain going majoof.
Subhanallah, la samahallah, may Allah, yani God forbid. No, your brain is fine, bit by bit, inshallah. I think we can stop there. Sorry, Sayyida Sami, I know you were supposed to leave. I think we can end there so that you can leave. And we can begin page 38, inshallah, next week.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you rahmah, afiyah, and naima. Ameen.
Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. We can stop there. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. See you guys next week, inshallah.
جزاك الله خير.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاك الله خيرا. السلام عليكم.
وإياكم.
جزاك الله خيرا كثيرا.
وإياكم حبيبتي. Okay, why is the meeting not ending? Subhanallah.